Prince William is set to visit a project to combat homelessness in the north of England later today. This, of course, comes amid intense speculation about his wife, the Princess of Wales. A British tabloid has published video footage, which it says shows the couple at a farmer's market over the weekend. Kate Middleton had not been seen out and about walking in public since what the palace described as a planned abdominal surgery in January. That lack of information from the royals has led to questions about her recovery, fueled in part by the release, of course, of this family photo on Mother's Day that in short order we learned had been edited. Well, now there are doubts about editing involving a photo of the late Queen Elizabeth with her grandchildren and her great-grandchildren. CNN royal correspondent Max Foster joins us now from London. Okay, so let's start first, if we could, Max, with this video. So the video is now out there. She's being seen walking with a rather brisk step for someone who had surgery not too long ago. Is the palace confirming that this is, in fact, Kate and William out?
No, so this was, as we understand it, video taken by another customer at this farm shop and handed to The Sun, which is now distributing it, and we believe it's real, and it's from the weekend. And not to delve into too many of the conspiracy theories, but they look very happy together, and she looks very well. Of course, they've gone into such a frenzied state that even with this video, there's all sorts of analysis of the images you're seeing here and whether or not indeed they're real, whether or not these are body doubles or AI has been used. There's no evidence of any of that, but I think it speaks to, how, this conversation has blown up in really bizarre ways when normally we wouldn't have questioned pieces of video like this. But I think for many of the genuine fans, it's really reassuring to see that she is indeed well when we've had so little information from the palace.
And that lack of information, I am familiar with all the things, right? We keep calm, we carry on, never complain, never explain. But the late Queen also said you had to be seen to be believed. So
Absolutely.
if you put all of that together, it of course does fuel some of these crazy theories that we've seen out there and some of the legitimate concern. Is it your sense, and I don't think we'd ever hear this publicly, but is it your sense internally that there is a recognition that this was perhaps not handled as well as it could have been?
Certainly the backlash, I think from Prince William's point of view, having sort of worked with him for many years, his view, what would have been, I think, it's safe to say, that Kate was going to hospital and needed to have a plan. And he accepted that the public needed some information, but he wasn't going to reveal it all. He saw it as private, so they set out this plan that they'd say she was in hospital, they would give an update saying that she was well, and then they would say when they expected to appear back at work, which is Easter, and they're just not moving from that plan. I think that is the reality of their view. Of course, in the meantime, we've had these doctored pictures released. First one that you talked about was from Mother's Day, and now Getty Images have gone through previous handouts, as we call them, from the palace, where we don't know really what happened because we were just given them. And they've come up with this other one, which was photographed by Kate again in 2022, released last year. They're not clear, they're not saying this is necessarily manipulated, but they are certainly saying there's some issues with it, and they're looking into it further. They've labelled it, saying they can't verify that there's a true representation, effectively, of what happened in that moment. So this is a massive problem with the communications strategy at the palace, because it speaks to the idea that there is some sort of cover-up going on, even though it could have all been perfectly innocent. But they're not changing tack. They're not giving us more information. They're not giving us the original photos. And as you said, William is up in Sheffield today, carrying out a regular engagement and not addressing any of this at all.
Be interesting to see. I'm sure there will be an attempt to get some information, but I doubt he will answer those questions if past is prologue. Max, always appreciate it. Thank you.